Welcome to episode 1 of DT is LA, a podcast about the culture, the history, and the future of downtown Los Angeles. I'm Danielle Wolff, and I'm here with my co-host, Eloi Gerard.
This is a bit our introduction to the podcast. And here in this very first episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about what we want to do.
Yes, absolutely. We're so excited about this. This is something we've been talking about for a bit, and I think we're the only people in LA without a podcast. So we were legally required to start our podcast. We decided, why not do it about something that we love? And this may be the only episode where it's just the two of us, because we're going to try to have guests on most of the time. So enjoy, us while you can. Get your fill of us, which you will probably have by the end of this episode. But yeah, why don't we start by introducing ourselves for any of our 2 or 3 listeners who aren't our friends or family.
Also, we have other people that could.
Yeah, can you imagine?
So please start, Danielle.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Danielle Wolff. I'm originally from Nebraska, which is someplace that most people have not been, but they're always interested in hearing about it. I lived on the East Coast for college for a bit, and then I moved to LA to go to grad school at UCLA. And when I first moved here, I was living in Los Feliz, which was also a great neighborhood, but always liked being downtown, and was spending a lot of time down here. So decided to move down here during the pandemic. Actually, there were some good rental deals, a lot of places. So
Oh, great times.
Yeah.
Oh, we loved it.
And in my real life outside of podcasting, I am a screenwriter. I do mostly TV and animation. I do also some live action features and a little of everything. Interactive multimedia, whatever they will pay me for, I will write. So that's my life in a nutshell.
If you think that this podcast is not very well written, you know who is writing it.
My fault.
It's not me. Yeah, I can improvise.
But what about you? Tell us what.
So Eloi, my name is pronounced Eloi, Eloi. So it's a very strange first name. I'm from Belgium and I speak French. My story, so I was born in Belgium. I was a film producer in Belgium. And I moved to China where I lived for 10 years in Shanghai, where I progressively worked more into technology in virtual reality, which is really my field. In Shanghai and my own studio there. So I'm quite fan of everything that connects like narrative with technology, or the way we reinvent the storytelling is a bit of my passion. And then I came to LA 2-3 years ago now, almost 3 years. And arriving in downtown, we're going to talk about that, I guess, where I met Danielle. And yes, this was really the purpose. I still work in virtual reality. I also work, I'm quite passionate about everything which is AI. So I like content generation in AI. We might talk about that because downtown is actually a place where many events in AI.
Yeah, it's kind of a creative hub. So
Yes, yeah, you have
stuff happening.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit who I am. Quickly. So
we met about 2 years ago in a very downtown LA way. There's a number of one of the great things about this neighborhood, and we'll talk more about it, is that it's very walkable. There's a lot of great places to hang out, have a drink, meet people, and there's a French wine bar that was very close to where we were both living at the time. And it's kind of become a neighborhood hangout. And so we were both there one night and just got chatting, and now have been friends for a couple of years. We like to go out, we see movies, do all sorts of entertainment industry events when they come on. We're both members of the Television Academy. So we'll show up for an open bar and a free buffet kind of anywhere. But
so it's just a message to everyone here, a little exposure for your restaurant, your bar. We can come to look at it.
Sacrifice.
It's not why we are doing this podcast, but it is. Yes.
Yeah, we're happy to come to you. Anyway, so we've been really good friends for a couple of years. We're not dating. Some people ask, but we're dating other people. But we're just friends. And it's one of the things that I personally love about downtown is how easy it is to meet people down here and just form a community. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about where we live downtown and kind of why we love it and why we want to do this podcast, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So from my side, because I was living in Shanghai, I was quite used to living in very big cities where car is not really an option. So many people don't have a car at all in big cities like Shanghai, but also in Brussels, where I used to live, or like in many other places in the world that is around Los Angeles. People don't have a car and they like to walk around and to go to their little local bar, restaurant, and then or go to their work or and have their entire life being organized this way. Arriving in LA, it was downtown was a bit the only place where I had this feeling of like big cities where you don't need a car and you can really connect to different type of services and different type of entertainment thing. So this is initially why I arrived here. I also was more interested by the diversity also of downtown. Coming from China, I didn't really want to be like in a neighborhood like the West Side. I like the idea to be connected with people from various background, and that could challenge my perspective. So this is also why I chose to be in downtown.
And when you first moved downtown, you were in what would you call the neighborhood where you were?
So, but my first neighborhood was Spring Street, which is almost historic core. I was just at the border, but let's say that historic core is really where your life is happening, because you have a lot of bar restaurants, so where you have a lot of history, where you have a lot of the danger sometimes.
Times like a lot of urban centers. Yeah. There's some challenges, but
Exactly. Talk about that.
we'll get into it for sure.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I like to talk about danger, but I've never been to any danger here. It's not what you think, but it's how it looks like in movies. So people are afraid, but no, it's an amazing area. So I was in Spring Street, and now for a couple of months I'm living on Hope Street, which is very close. Also, it's more South Park, to very close to 7th Street. So also I'm surrounded by great bars and restaurants that we will talk about, and plenty of other things.
And
for you, Danielle?
I am on Main Street, which is in the historic core, which was the place where the city of LA really started. And it's also kind of adjacent to the old bank district. So a lot of the buildings in that part of town used to be banks, and now they've been renovated into living spaces or restaurants or bookstores or whatever. And a lot of them have maintained their, architectural details from when they were banks. So they've got the high ceilings and the gorgeous, details inside the buildings, and they've maintained those. A lot of them are historic, preserved buildings. It's a really great area to kind of see the history and then see how it's changed over the decades.
But why did you choose to move from Los Feliz to here? What was the reason?
I had been in Los Feliz for a while, so I was just looking for a change. And I was spending a lot of time downtown. I liked coming down here to go out, to shop, to hang out, and meet friends. And so I decided in 2020 that because there were a lot of good deals happening, it was just time to change. And so I moved downtown, and I initially was looking to find a place in a historic building that had been renovated. I like that kind of history. A lot of them don't have parking. And I know you mentioned one of the things you like about downtown is you don't have to have a car, and you don't, but I do have a car and wasn't decided, to keep it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You can be
my car.
No.
Yeah, and because there was no parking in a lot of the buildings, didn't want to have to park several blocks away, so I ended up in a newer building, but it's surrounded by all the history, which I think is really fun. So
Absolutely, yeah.
So you can tell that we are big fans of downtown.
Yes.
And are sort of fascinated by it as a neighborhood. So that's one of the reasons why we decided it would be fun to kind of share that with other people and talk to other people who are part of the downtown community and dealing with some of the challenges and opportunities that an urban neighborhood like this brings with it.
Yeah, we noticed that the downtown has a kind of bad image, so the rest of the world, the rest of Los Angeles is completely neglecting downtown and thinking never really come here, that imagine that it's a kind of dead zone or a conflict area. It's like, the border of Ukraine or something. I don't know. But it's completely ignoring what it is. It's a real community with a lot of people living here where there are many amazing things to do. And by this podcast, we really want to show the great side of downtown and explain why we live here and promote it to the rest of Los Angeles and the rest of the world, instead of continuing having this extremely strange bad image
bias,
of,
yeah.
of this bias. I watched Terminator yesterday. Tell me that everything is happening in downtown. Terminator
Yeah.
1, and almost everything. It looks so dangerous. It was shot in '84, and yes, of course, this kind of movie didn't help us into showing what kind of neighborhood we have.
Yeah.
It is not like in the movie, except at night.
Well, it's not the kind of neighborhood that people picture when they think of LA. For people who have never been here or have or have only known LA from the movies or what they see on TV, they don't think about downtown as their image. They think of, the beach and Beverly Hills, and those are all part of LA too. But this is where LA was founded and where it became what it is. And so we are really interested in not just, kind of telling people how great it is and promoting, what's happening here, but also exploring some of the challenges of it, because it is,
Yeah.
like any urban center, there are definitely challenges. We have a lot of unhoused neighbors down here. There's, concerns about crime. I think the concerns are not always don't always match up to the reality, but we can talk about that. And so maybe we can kind of go into some of the things that we want to talk about on the podcast. One of which I think is we would love to get some local politicians on and talk about what they're doing and their vision for the neighborhood and the community. What else?
Yeah, we want to talk about what it is. What is a city? So it's the only place in Los Angeles which has been built as a city and not as a highway. Sorry, I'm going a little bit far. It's not like so. So it has been originally a place where people were living, and so we want to explore what it is that to explore what it is to live together in the same neighborhood. How do we create great neighborhood? How do we create walkable place? How do we connect with each other? How do we prevent crimes by connecting with each other?
Mm-hmm.
So, and really exploring the role of a city in the connection that people have to each other. That's really about, for me, it's really one of the main interests in this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I've become such a booster of downtown since moving here because of those connections, that I found it really, easy to make and very fulfilling, just because people are out and because there's a sort of understanding that there's a lot of different types of people from a lot of different backgrounds and different communities all, living together downtown. And it makes it for a really exciting, fun place to be. And so we also want to talk about a little bit about, some of the things that are happening here, why people who are creative and entrepreneurial are attracted to this neighborhood, restaurant owners, business owners, artists, that kind of thing, and feature some of them and talk to them about not only what they're doing and, hear about their business, but why they chose this area and what is it about downtown that they're really excited about. So yeah, we're hoping to have guests on most weeks, if not every week. And just chat with them, and we think it'll be really, really exciting to hear what they're up to, and also, their view about the community. And we hope that this is a podcast that's not just for people in downtown, not just for people in LA, but for people anywhere who are interested in, history and culture, a lot of which is centered here, but also who are interested in cities and an urban lifestyle and the kind of thing that is not typical of this city, but is, the heart of this neighborhood. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, maybe people don't imagine how diverse is this place. So we have so many sub-districts of the district of downtown, but we have so many different places. We have an area of museum, we have an art district, we have like a historic core, we have a fashion district that doesn't really look like the Champs-Élysées. It's a fashion industry. We have various area, Little Tokyo. We have Chinatown. We have various places with complete different stories, and we want to really unfold of these different stories and share that with you to understand what it is to live here.
So we have no idea how many episodes we'll do, hopefully a lot, and hopefully we'll go on for a long time because there are so many stories to tell, so many people to talk to. We'll give you a little taste of what the type of things that we're going to talk about, just to kind of emphasize what's going on in downtown right now. So there's a monthly art night, which happens the first Thursday of every month. So the next one is June 6th, which is next Thursday, where all the galleries downtown are open. There's live music, there's vendors out. It's just a great time to come down and wander around, and there's a ton of people around and just walk around and explore the neighborhood.
Yes, but and the purpose of that event, which is like a really happening in the evening, which is a strange idea because people will be, oh, we're gonna just walk around downtown in the evening. Looks a little bit strange, and the purpose of this event is really to demystify this idea of a place that look dangerous. No, it's not dangerous. You can at 8 p.m. Walk from galleries to galleries. So really around Broadway, Spring Street, and all of this street. And it's really how to connect with the neighborhood, and how this neighborhood can, connect to each other. It's great events to celebrate downtown, I think.
So anyone who's in LA should definitely, if you're downtown curious, come out next Thursday for that. Maybe we can find a place where we're going to be, and you can hang out. Come by and meet us.
Absolutely.
We'll also we'll be talking about things that are downtown adjacent, things like Dodgers. It's Dodgers season.
Oh,
I'm excited about this.
I'm not going to talk about that because I don't understand anything.
So,
European, sorry.
He has never been to a baseball game. So
exactly.
We'll talk about the Dodgers' history in LA and what they mean to the community, but maybe we'll also go see a game and kind of report back on what that experience is like for someone doing that for the first time.
So, and I really want to know the icon of the logo of the Dodger, the LA sign. Is it does the sign come before the Dodgers, or is this sign was the Dodger logo that became the logo of this
latter? But we'll look into it.
I think we should explore it. I will ask all the naive questions for you, for all the foreigners or people outside of LA that do not understand how these things work. And we can talk, of course, of the rooftop. Why we want to put the rooftop is because downtown is the place where we probably have the most of rooftop. It's not Santa Monica or it's not Hollywood. Sorry, it's really here where you would have the most amazing rooftop experience, because we have like a lot of high-rise buildings and a lot of swimming pool up there. What is your best rooftop?
It's hard to pick. I will say the rooftop at the Perla Hotel is one I go to a lot.
Damn it, I wanted to say this one.
Well, and there's more and more opening all the time, and it's one of the fun things about LA that you don't think of. Sitting by a poolside, sipping a cocktail. That downtown is the place to do that because of all the fantastic, beautiful bars and restaurants that are on rooftops, often near pools. Where else is your favorite one?
Just next to me here, there's the Wayfarer.
Oh yeah,
hotel, really nice, amazing, also really nice drinks. And then I just discovered the two on Broadway, a bit south of Broadway. There's the Hoxton and the other just south of Hoxton. There are two hotels just near to each other. Both are amazing place also for it's like, of course, amazing view on downtown. So it's really this iconic view that you see.
Well, maybe we'll visit some of those places and get some of the chefs on the podcast. They can tell us a little bit about their place. Anyway, so we are just to kind of like wrap up. We hope this has given you a bit of a taste of what we're going to cover and why we're really excited about it. And we're aiming to do the podcast weekly. It may not quite be weekly at the beginning. We're getting our minds around the technical aspects, and this is the first time we've done it, so we're going to kind of work our way into it. But we're really excited about it, and I think we're going to have a good time. And we also want to hear from you, right?
Yes, we really want to connect with you, and and to hear what are your suggestions. what are the things that you want us to focus on. So really feel free on Spotify to we let the comment section being open, so where you can propose some ideas, and where we have frequently asked questions where you can engage, and do not hesitate. We have also an Instagram account that you can find. It's called DTLA Podcast, I think.
On Instagram.
One word, so you can connect with us there, and then add your ideas in comments.
We'll put the links in the show notes for that stuff. So.
It's all connected to the Spotify thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you should see it. And really, do not hesitate if you are organizing something and you would love us to do an episode on what you are doing, and that you think that you would be a great fit, please do not hesitate to connect with us, and we can come to look at what you are doing, and to to help you. This is why we are doing this.
Yeah. We want to boost downtown LA, and also, address some of the challenges of the neighborhood, and hopefully make a difference for the people who live here and come down here, and love the neighborhood. So, and talk about some of the cool history, and we have so much to talk about. So we hope that you will come back for our next episode, and those after, and listen, subscribe, rate us, all of those fun things that are part of the podcasting gig. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
No, I think we're ready to go.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great. We're very excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next week, maybe.
Maybe soon. We'll say soon. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.